Chef D.Mart, and we're making breakfast burritos. I can't wait to show you how to cook all these. This is gonna be one of the best burritos you ever made. I've been making these for many years, and now the flat top is the best way to cook all these. You have a couple you gotta make, like I made 2 bacon, egg, and cheese already this morning for my son and his friend, and they just crushed them. Now, I'm gonna do the SteelMade recipe and do the breakfast burrito exactly as I say it. You're gonna see how delicious it is. And then I'm gonna do a couple of variations. We're gonna fire it up and we're gonna have the best breakfast burritos ever. Chef D.Mart.
And that is some thick hickory bacon. I diced it, I kind of repeat it, but yes. And I started a timer like normal. And now, that is a ham steak. What you just saw there was a little milk going into the eggs before I scrambled them, and a pinch of salt. So that's the scrambled eggs for the recipe. And yes, the milk gives it a little fluffiness. Now, this temp of this flat top is about 400 degrees. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you keep rotating things. So you're gonna see me mix a lot of the meat over and over and over, and I didn't wanna skip too much. I make these videos to show people how to do this. I'm not trying to do fast forward and show you the end product without showing you some of the details. So since we do have a 400 degree surface temp on the bacon, this is where I really wanted to strive to move the bacon around so nothing ever got to a darker color, that it was just nice brown and crispy, but we got a lot of the bacon juice out of it. As you can see, when I put the hash browns down, guess what I'm using? That's right, the fat bacon into the hash browns. Working in double speed here just to kind of show you most of the steps, but keep the time under some long time. I rotate the meat off into a cooler spot of the flat top, such as the ham steak, so it doesn't crisp too much, and basically it's slightly brown and then it's warm, so it stays nice and juicy and doesn't dry out. Now the bacon I keep rotating because I don't want it to burn, like I said, and I'm using that grease once over again for the veggies also. So not only am I using the bacon grease for the hash browns, but now the veggies, which are white onion, yellow bell pepper, and red bell pepper finely diced. Now the bacon's really starting to get brown, and I'm kind of seeing these vegetables cook really fast. This is a high heat, so it doesn't take very long, as you noticed. And as the hash browns start to brown, that's where I kind of start mixing everything together so that it kind of gets that sweetness in the vegetables and the savory from the potato. And if you notice, you'll see salt and pepper go on consistently. I always do this during the cooking so that afterwards you're not going, oh, it needs salt. Now, I'm not going too heavy on salt here. I am doing pepper also. But the reason why is because the bacon gives salt and the ham steak gives salt. So you're getting salt from 2 different sources. As you can see, I'm still doing the surface temp. All this food is cooled down the flat top. It wasn't very hot, but it's still giving off some residuals, so that's okay. We're cooling it down. The veggies are pretty much done. I'm warming the tortilla on the side, but I'm about to put the egg down. And that's kind of the good part, is that I'm not needing it too hot for the egg. The scrambled egg will cook rather quick on the flat top no matter what. As you can see, just a touch of butter. Don't want this too greasy, just spreading it out so nice even level. Giving this a little bit of a stir right before it goes on the flat top. While that initial cook of that scrambled egg is going down. Still here with salt and pepper, but I'm getting everything into the burrito already. I had warmed one side of the tortilla, the inside. Now, basically put everything in, and look how quick that was. A little bit of brownness, and basically your scrambled egg is done. What was that, 10 seconds? It cooks that fast. Any longer, it's gonna become really hard and tough, and you don't want that. And now the finishing touches is a little cabot, shredded cheese, and cheddar. Get the high quality cheese, why not? It's gonna taste better, it's a little bit pricier, but it works. As you can see, I folded over it and pinched in and then finished the roll. You notice that it's not exactly tight, but what I did is I put a little butter down and I said, oh, I can keep pushing it in and pressing it, and it will set. But just a light bit of butter and any extra cheese that was on there, basically I put it on the tortilla, and it will continue to bond into that as it hardens to give you that nice texture, that outside crunch of a burrito. You see, with a nice hot grill of about 380, 350, the burrito crisps very quickly and nice.
All right, Chef D.Mart here, and yes, this is the burrito. I made some notes, and I just did their burrito, so I'm gonna do another one shortly. But I just want to show you their burrito, and here we go. We're gonna give it a cup. This burrito took 12 minutes. Unbelievably quick. Oh my gosh! You see the cheese set, diced ham steak, bacon. And I didn't have to crumble the bacon because I just cut it before I cooked it. Let's give it a taste. Who doesn't love a breakfast burrito? It's a great recipe. I love it. Let's keep it going.
So as a chef, I said, hey, friends, family, I'm going to be doing a video for SteelMade Flat Top. Why not we just have a late lunch and have breakfast burritos? So this is what I'm doing. The rest of the bacon, the rest of the ham steak, and chorizo sausage, pork. Now you can buy these in small packages. If you notice, these look rather large. So if you live close to a Publix, which is, well, in Atlanta, Georgia, and based out of Tampa, Florida, they actually do their own chorizo sausage, but it's really thick and it has a casing. So what I did is I took the casing off, and as you can see, I'm going to relentlessly chop this up to make it into diced little chorizo crispiness. And just kind of how we use the bacon grease for everything, I'm going to use the chorizo grease for everything because that gives a good heat flavor. The reason why chorizo is always a little oily is because the ground pork gets a slurry of chili, and then they grind it into a sausage. So it's naturally going to have some runoff of what looks like fat and oil, but that's literally how the meat is made. It's spiced meat. So that's where I'm here once again, moving around. It's hot, and this is a lot more food now. So we're trying to aim for about 8 breakfast burritos of a mix. I'll do some ham and bacon. I'll do some chorizo, and I'm not scrambling the eggs. I'm gonna fry the eggs. So that's the other change again. So once again, you're just gonna see me dicing up, a lot of this chorizo and kind of showing you how quickly it does cook for 8 burritos. And yes, it's going to be under 30 minutes, which is really cool when everyone's in the kitchen going, is it ready yet? Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Seeing how I've separated the ham and the bacon's still cooking, and I've been regulating the heat below by trying to keep a medium heat on the left side and a higher heat on the right side. And I've been playing with the temp a little bit to kind of regulate, even though it's still a high heat. And you see I put the potatoes down on the bacon grease, and now I'm scooping that chorizo grease onto the potatoes. Potatoes can take a lot of oil, and it actually helps them to get crispier. So if you ever see what they do at a Waffle House, it's a ton of butter to get them crispy like most people like them. If you notice the hash browns do look a little brown, well, they've been sitting for just a little bit from prep to getting the camera set up, and they turn a little brown. But that's just oxidation, has nothing to do with the flavor of the hash brown, nor the crunch or the texture of the hash brown. They just kind of look a little different. But in a breakfast burrito, no one's going to notice. So if you do shave a fresh potato, just know the oxidation will happen. As you can see where I'm flipping the hash browns and I'm putting the ham, that lower left, basically still continue to cook the bacon and the ham is still warming. And so what I'm just doing was sharing still some of that bacon fat into the hash browns, kind of getting the second side crispy. And now I'm putting all the veggies down, that's a full onion, that's the rest of the bell peppers, which basically on the first burrito I used maybe an eighth of the bell pepper, if even that. It was really not that much. And so what you see is I'm kind of separating into the diced ham, into the bacon, and using all the liquid from the bacon fat now into the veggies to let those cook. I also diced a jalapeno, which is, if you go to my YouTube short, you can see how I diced this jalapeno. I've diced thousands of jalapenos in food prep before, and I just want to show you something I did with the style of how to do them quickly, where the seeds didn't bother you because you didn't really mess with them, and that you could do many and not even have to use gloves really if you did it the right way, if you had a sharp knife, because the oils don't run if you follow my method. So that's on my YouTube also for a short. Now going back here, you see all the veggies are kind of cooking fast. The hash brown's almost done. So I put that into its little quadrant, and I have the top of that stove kind of turned off, just on low heat. It's still all warm and still cooking, staying warm, but I'm not at that high heat of that 400 like I was with the veggies. But once again, the chorizo and the juices were over to the right with the bacon. I'm now moving the veggies all over there, give them that extra crisp, get all that liquid out, and infuse them with some flavor. So of course there's salt, pepper, but now there's bacon fat and chorizo fat, which is a little spicy. It just gives those sweet veggies, once you cook them down, even more flavor in the burrito. Now everything is ready to go for the eggs. Once again, turn it down just a little bit. I don't mind if I do this quickly for you guys. Can you just see how quick this goes? This does not take any time at all. You'll be kind of surprised at how many eggs I crack, and I just kind of fast forward through this because the cracking took the longer part of cooking them almost. But once again, always salt and pepper when you put down your eggs, and just a thin layer of butter. This is where I wanted to kind of go traditional on the fried egg with the butter. You could have done the bacon fat, but I kind of ran out of it. I kind of sucked all that fat out as much as I can and put it into the hash browns and in the veggies. But now you see the eggs. I'm kind of separating the egg whites to let the egg whites cook. I'm kind of accidentally hitting the egg yolk because I was going so quick. But that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. The important thing is that the egg white sets and it cooks. And that is all you're waiting for. But let me repeat. All you're waiting for is the egg white to set. Notice, I don't flip these. I don't look to cook the yolk. I'm breaking it all, scraping it all up, pushing it all together, and setting it aside. Runny, creamy egg yolk. That is the texture you want here in your burrito. This is why I fry the egg. It gives you the egg white that's firm, it gives you the egg yolk, and with the cheese just sitting on top, it just molds and becomes creamy in all the burritos. And that's why I like a fried egg. And yes, I do make a hot sauce. It's habanero. It is some of the most peppers you could ever think of, with Tabasco peppers, with Reapers, and I grill them, and I do bourbon, I do vinegar, so I'm working on trying to get that released to the public. But yes, it's one of those hot sauces that people are like, bottle this up please and sell it, and I have a lot of people buying it from me now. And as you can see, I'm grabbing some hash browns, some veggies, some bacon, some ham, a little bit more cheese, and rolling them up. I'm gonna say it got really hot there, so I kind of had to move off the cutting board a little bit, but you know, from 1 to 8, it all worked, they all went. I put a little bit of butter on them, so all of it's really hot. So like I said, I had to move it off a little bit and put them back on. And as I flip them, you see the crispiness comes with all the breakfast burritos, and I kind of rotate them from side to side, but they look great.
I'm Chef D.Mart, and I will tell you, the flat top did again. Look at this. We got 8 burritos, and I did some chorizo, I did some jalapeno with the veggies, and we're just gonna say it makes a ton for a party. I got some hungry people standing next to me, so once again, you just see how it comes together, and you can keep them warm, you toast them, and just look at that. Delicious. And now I'm just gonna say a little hot sauce, and I'm ready to go. Awesome. If you're gonna have a flat top, get a flat top. You're gonna love this meal, and so will your family and friends. Chef D.Mart.